Hi, this is Dr. Bharadwaz. I am CEO and homeopathy doctor at Fidicus Homeopathy. Today we will discuss on body changes or what happens in the bodies of the patients of Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy. It is also known as pathology. We will deeply look into it, what exactly happens here. This is due to defective dystrophin protein. Okay, we will see what is defective dystrophin protein and what happens when there is a crack in the plasma membrane of the muscle cell. So what happens to the calcium, what happens to the creatinine kinase. Calcium is present outside of the cell and creatinine kinase is present inside of the cell. So how the muscle cell is died, and also initially the muscle cell will completely recover, that is known as regeneration. Over a period of time it will lose that function, and the repair happens. When repair happens, the muscle cell is replaced with fat tissue and also scar tissue. Because of this there will be lot of weakness. We will all look into it deeply. Finally what happens is there will be a heart failure, because heart is also a muscle. And respiratory failure, your respiration also fails, because diaphragm is a main muscle which is involved in respiration. When this diaphragm get damaged, so there will be respiration and heart failure at the end of the life. In this diagram you can see that this is the extracellular matrix, this green one. It is a mesh like structure. This is the extracellular matrix. The blue one here is cytoskeleton. Cytoskeleton and extracellular matrix will give stability to the muscle cell, keep it in its shape. So this is the dystrophin protein. You can see this is a rod like structure. This is a dystrophin protein. This dystrophin protein is attaching internal structure, that is cytoskeleton, with exoskeleton or extracellular matrix, so that entire cell will be protected. It will be strong. When the muscle contracts or when the muscle relaxes, what happens is there will not be any damage to the muscular membrane. This is a muscle membrane that is separating the muscle from the other muscles. You can see that. Okay, in this case see that this dystrophin protein is not complete, it is damaged. The connection between extracellular matrix and cytoskeleton is lost. These are not attached with this dystrophin protein, because in this the dystrophin protein is defective. When the dystrophin protein is defective, what happens is there will be crack in the plasma membrane. This is the cell inside the cell, this is outside the cell. When there is a crack in the plasma membrane, what happens is the things that are to be there in the within the cell will easily go out, and the things which are outside the cell will easily come out, and this will damage the muscle. We will look what are these in the next video. Important thing that is going to happen is you can see that these are the calcium ions. These calcium ions, because there is a discontinuation in the plasma membrane, they will easily come into the cell. Once they come into the cell, they will activate the proteases. The green ones are proteases. Normally they have to destroy the protein within the cells that are damaged protein. Any protein is damaged, this is the damaged protein, it has to remove them. So when they are in excessive state, when they are excessive because they have freely migrated into the cell, they will go and attack the normal plasma protein as well. This is the normal plasma protein. As these are excessive proteolytic enzymes, they will attack the normal protein of the cell as well. That's the reason the protein within the cell or the protein within the muscle will be destroyed because of the Duchenne muscular dystrophy. You can see this in the video. So the normal proteins are also get destroyed. The next thing that is going to happen is, see, these are the orange structures. This is known as creatine kinase. Creatine kinase is present within the cell. Creatine kinase is the energy for the cell or muscle cell. Because of this, muscle cell contracts. They should present within the cell, they go out easily from this crack. Because of this, what happens is the cell will be there, but there will not be any energy for the cell to contract. That's the reason muscle contraction is lost and muscle becomes weak. This creatine kinase first enter out of the muscle cell and then it goes into the blood. You can detect this creatine kinase in the blood, and you can confirm the diagnosis of Duchenne muscular dystrophy when there is elevated levels of this creatine kinase. Creatine kinase is very important for muscle contraction because it gives energy. It is an energy source. When there is no sufficient amount of creatine kinase, the muscle is not able to contract and becomes weak. Next thing that is going to happen is, you can see these are lot of muscle cells. Every structure or every cylindrical structure in this is a muscle cell. Initially what happens is, if this muscle cell is destroyed, it will completely regenerated, new muscle cell is formed. So you can see that here, see new muscle cell is generating here. But over a period of time, what happens is, when the muscle cell is gone, okay, and there is no sufficient time for them to regenerate it. That's the reason every muscle cell is replaced with a fat cell. This yellow one is a fat cell or it is a scar. it forms a scar. That's the reason over a period of time when the baby grows, the strength of the muscle is completely gone and the baby dies. Initially there is regeneration. Regeneration means the muscle cell is completely formed after destruction, but later stages there is repair, there is no regeneration. Repair means it is replaced with the fat tissue or scar tissue and the muscle loses its power. This what happens to the entire muscle or muscle cell in Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
Fidicus Homeopathy.